Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to be going over a heat wave which is going to be impacting parts of the central and southern plains as well as the southeast. Parts of the northern plains could be dealing with some warmer temperatures as well, and they might even near 100 degrees on some of these days. So let's get right into it here, and let's start off with your current National Weather Service page. As you can see, we have a few excessive heat warnings in parts of Idaho and Oregon, as well as for a little area of Missouri and Kansas. We have some flood watches in parts of Arizona, California, Nevada, and Utah, as well as some heat advisories in parts of Nevada, Idaho, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and a little bit of Tennessee and Missouri as well. We have some air quality alerts in effect in that gray color for parts of the Northwest, as well as some excessive heat watches in effect for eastern Montana, as well as northern Wyoming. Other than that, we don't have many other watches or warnings currently in place. Yesterday, we had a high temperature of 115 degrees in Stovepipe Wells, California. We also had a low temperature of 25 degrees in Peterson's, Utah. And the highest rainfall report was 4.08 inches in Woodfield, Georgia. No snowfall reports as of yesterday. Here's a look at the current high temperature map for today. So this is showing you the actual high temperatures. We're going to look at the heat index in just a couple minutes, but the actual high temperatures will also be quite high. I want you guys to really focus in on this area of the country, the central part of the country. This is where most of the warmer temperatures are going to be, especially in areas of the northern plains and then another pocket in the southern plains and the southeast. So these are the two areas that you want to watch for in terms of these really warm temperatures. For today, you can see that we are expecting in those gray colors where they're almost turning to kind of a very light gray, almost a white color. That's where you're nearing 95 to 100 degrees. You see that in parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, and then also another pocket up in the northern plains. So that's where you're nearing 100 degrees. If you're even in this pink color, which you kind of see for parts of central California, that's where you're getting up near and above 105 degrees. So that's where you're getting really high up there. That's where you're getting really up there in terms of the high temperatures. So this would be for today in terms of the high temperatures. You can see mainly just a sort of isolated event. You have kind of pockets of warmer temperatures, but nothing widespread to this point. You have some areas in the southern plains, the northern plains, scattered throughout the west, but nothing really too kind of organized or in one place. So we're dealing with just scattered all over the country some of these warmer temperatures. By tomorrow is when it starts to heat up a little bit, and this is when we're going to start to see this organize a bit more. You're going to see this area of warmer temperatures start to kind of dip down a little bit further to the south. And that's because we're going to see an area of high pressure, which was originally sitting over to the west. That'll kind of move a little bit further to the east. And with that, it'll drag along some of those warmer temperatures as well. So for tomorrow, you can see that we are expecting over a vast majority of the south to be dealing with temperatures above 90 degrees. And especially in the southern plains, above 95 degrees. The northern plains may even have a few areas reaching near or above 100 degrees. By Tuesday, you can see it warms up even more. So this entire central column of the country is above 90 by this point, with a couple pockets that are even nearing 105 to 110. In parts of the northern plains. You're now going to start to see this take over the south a little bit more as we move into Wednesday. So you can see that this entire area shifted a little bit. We were originally dealing with the warmest temperatures up here. Now you can see that the warmest temperatures are a little bit further to the south into the central plains instead of the northern plains. So they have shifted a little bit further to the south, and this is just kind of a gradual progression over this 5-day time period where we're going to see the north get a little bit cooler and the south get a little bit warmer. So you can see that we have a widespread area of 95 plus degrees all throughout the central part of the country, in through the Tennessee Valley, and even in parts of the mid-Atlantic. So a fairly warm day for many of these areas in the central and eastern United States. Looking at for Thursday, which is the last day that we're going to look at, because after you get past that 5-day mark, it gets a little bit fuzzier in terms of the actual temperatures. But you can see that we are expecting fairly warm temperatures, getting up 95 to even 100 degrees in a few of these areas. If we were to extrapolate that out to day 6, day 7, you would even see a few areas getting up near 105 degrees in those spots. And also, let's not forget about the southwest. They're also dealing with high temperatures that are getting up near 110 to 120 degrees in some of those spots for Thursday as well. So, and that's the actual high temperatures. Looking at the National Weather Service's forecast for the heat index over the next few days. So this is going to be for days 3 through 7. So after we took that big shift from the north being the warmest area to the south now being a little bit warmer, you're going to see how this area of really warm heat indexes getting up near 110, maybe even 115 degrees will gradually shift further to the south. So the code is at the bottom in terms of what each color represents. The brown color is where you're between 100 and 105 degrees in terms of the feels like or the heat index. 105 to 110 in the pink. In that light pink, that's where we're at 110 to 115. And if you see any yellow pop up, that's where we're dealing with a heat index or a feels like temperature above 115 degrees. So you can see that for Wednesday of this week, we have heat indexes that all across the central column of the country that are going to be getting between 105 to 110, even a few spots above there. So fairly warm in these areas. This will be for Wednesday. Looking at for Thursday, you can see how we really cool off in parts of the northern plains, only feeling like it's in the 80s and the 70s in some of those spots. So a much cooler pattern compared to what we were originally dealing with. You can see how in parts of the southern plains and also into the southeast, we're dealing with temperatures that are feeling like they're all above 100, and within this pink area, even feeling like they're above 105 degrees, even a few pockets of 110 plus. If you look at for Friday, you can see that a wider area, especially over the southeast now, are getting covered with this pink color, indicating 105 to 110 degree indexes, heat indexes, and then in parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas as well. This is where we're dealing with heat indexes of around 110 to 115 degrees. Looking at for Saturday, you can see how we have also these heat indexes, especially over the southeast and the southern plains, really picking up, getting up near 105 to 110, even 110 to 115 in a wide area of the southern plains. Looking at for Sunday as well, you can see that these warmer temperatures gradually or every single day kind of shifting a little bit further to the south, but still for a vast majority of the southeast, the southern plains, parts of the Ozarks, it will be very, very warm over this next couple of days. So this stretch of 7 days is going to be fairly warm in these areas. Will probably cool off a little bit over the next week or two after this little heat wave that moves through. Taking a look at the actual temperature anomalies, so how far above or below normal these temperatures are, you can see that we are expecting, especially over the northwest and the northern plains, even stretching into parts of the mid-Atlantic. This is where we're gonna expect over the next 5 days as an average to be above normal. If we were to look at the maybe 3 to 7 day temperature anomaly, you would see that these areas, especially over the southeast and the southern plains, would be much much warmer over those areas over that time frame. But because we're just looking at the first 5 days, it will be more centered around the northern plains. You can also see that it's expected to be a little bit colder in the southwest and also the northeast, and near normal if you live along the southeast or the Gulf Coast. Taking a look at the upper air map, and this is kind of again explain what's happening. We have a little low pressure which is down into Arizona, which is causing all that rainfall. So that's that area of general low pressure within the area. That's what's causing the rainfall and the cooler temperatures within parts of the southwest. We have a high pressure which is kind of spanning across much of the central part of the U.S., and then we have a bit of a trough into the easternmost part of the U.S., so into the northeast area and also into New England. This is the only area of the country in the eastern half that will be dealing with some colder temperatures. So we have a trough that's barely clipping the northeast, and then we have that high pressure which is setting in for the central United States. So all of that combined is going to lead to some warmer temperatures over this central column, and because of that, of course, we'll be dealing with the potential potential impacts from that heat wave, or at least those very warm temperatures that'll be rolling through these areas. So looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, you can see that from the 30th through August 3rd, we're expecting temperatures to be above normal, especially in the northwest, and also a little cutout for parts of the central plains. We have that colder area for the northeast, and then we have a near normal area for the southwest. So you can see how a wide majority of the country, stretching from parts of the west coast all the way to the southeast, is where we're expecting these warmer temperatures. So a fairly widespread area where we are expecting these warmer temperatures. Just to give you an update, over the next few weeks, and from the early part of, or I would say probably the second week of August, is when I'm going to start to make some of my longer range videos. I'm going to have about a 7 or 8 day stretch where I'm just making these longer range videos. So because the pattern is getting a little bit quieter, we're not dealing with too much. We will be having a full week where we're going to have these longer range forecasts. We're going to have your winter forecast. We'll probably have a fall and winter discussion as well on the channel. We'll have your fall forecast, your August forecast, maybe even doing a hurricane forecast or a hurricane update, and then also we'll be covering some of the other things from the fall and winter, such as the fall foliage forecast, when you'll see your first snowfall based on the averages, and also how much snowfall you should expect to see this winter. So we're going to be covering all of that and more. That'll be coming in the first or second week of August, maybe even stretching into the middle part of the month. So this is going to be a fairly fun week for you guys on the channel, where we're going to be just going over some of these longer range forecasts. I'll be answering most of your comments down in the comment section for those videos, and also this video. So if you have any questions, leave them down below and I will respond within a couple of hours of you posting it. So that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.